Hi guys, today you all are with knowledge area, and in this video I will be again we will learn about history. So let's start. And today our chapter is the progressive civilization of China. So I took the pictures, but again like the previous video I will explain you, I won't read it. So the Chinese civilization grew in northern China around the Yellow River, and then it expanded to include the area around the river Yangtze. Chinese civilization basically had rich culture and heritage as it developed a system of writing, philosophy, art, and political and administrative organization. Okay, now you can see this timeline of ancient Chinese dynasties. So basically, the dynasties are the Khandan. For example, we are having different caste. Like in the previous video, you learned about caste system. So the castes are the Khandan of Shudra, the caste of Shudras, the caste of Kshatriyas. But now we will learn the dynasties. Okay. Now today we will learn about Shang Dynasty, Clint Dynasty, and Han Dynasty. Okay. Now let's learn it. Okay. So the Chinese ruled China was ruled by dynasties and each contributed to its history. And the earliest known dynasty is the Xia dynasty, followed by Shang, Zhou, Qin, and Han, which are well known. And the Zhou dynasty ruled for the longest time and lasted for over 800 years, and which included the reign of 37 emperors. Okay, now now you can see these pictures. Now let's read them. Now there are two important things of the period which were developed of a writing system as revealed in archaic and Chinese inscriptions found on tortoise shells and flat cattle bones tell and the use of bronze metaphorically a number of ceremonial bronze vessels with inscriptions from the Shang period, and these tell us that their civilization was really civilized like the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, now Qin dynasty. Basically, the Qin dynasty contributed immensely to the Chinese progress, but the emperor of the Qin dynasty was Shi Shin Huangdi, which was found. Shi Huangdi founded the dynasty, but he was not very popular as he was too rude, strict, and what to say, um, well, okay. Now I am again repeating. Shin Huangdi was really strict and severe towards his subjects, and he didn't allow any sort of discussion about the government and ordered the destruction of all books, including Confucius book. We will discuss it about later because basically Confucius was a philosopher. Okay, now the only books which were there was farming, medicine, and fortune telling were not destroyed, and the people who saved the book of Confucius as if they were really knowledgeable, they were killed or they were fired by the emperor Shi Huangdi. Okay, now the king also established the concept of centralized government and a legal system, and Qin dynasty developed a written language, and it also developed a single currency and one set of bit. Like you may be seeing the SI unit, which are followed in the throughout the world. But when the Qin dynasty, the ruler of Qin dynasty, made one SI unit, one single SI unit which would be used in throughout the world, and the Qin dynasty made one single currency which would be used throughout the world. Okay, now isn't that उन्हें कितनी इज्जत मिली होगी? They would be have, I mean, they had so much power that everyone from the throughout the world followed his currency and his SI units, and and he also access for cards had a uniform basic length and made trade easier throughout the empire. Now basically the Emperor Huangdi tomb was guarded by 7,000 soldiers, archers, horses, and chariots in battle formation, but all equal city made of terracotta. Now, basically, the ruler of Clint Dynasty made a tomb, and tomb was named Terracotta Army, buried with him. The tomb had the tomb he made a tomb named and which has terracotta army buried with him, and it has like 7,000 soldiers buried with him, which has archers, horses, and chariots in battle formation, but all equally made of terracotta. An archaeologist excavation uncovered these in 1974 in an underground tunnel, reflecting the high developed culture and the art and craft of his period. Now, what happened is when the ruler of Qin dynasty was dead, he was dead, and was succeeded by the Han, who unlike the king respected and followed the teaching of Confucius. So basically, the Han dynasty followed all the teachings of Confucius. And similarly, as I told you about terracotta army, once it was destroyed by some farmers and it's broken. Some sculptures are broken. So now I'm telling about the Hans. Now, instead of ruling through fear, they brought a more just and efficient government to China. Emperor Wudi is the best known of the Han Emperor. It was the best known, and he extended and consolidated his empire. Now, the now let's talk about the Great Wall of China. It's quite famous, and it's really famous, and it's basically made to save from invaders and barbarian invaders, as they just came and destroyed everything. For example, since the Mongols continued their raids over the year, that's why they made. And the Great Wall of China was built by and found by Qin Dynasty, the ruler was Shi Huangdi, as I told you, to give barbarian invaders from the north. In 221 BCE, it was later extended by four other dynasties. Like once Shi Huangdi made it, and then it was extended by all the dynasties who came and ruled. Okay. Now, as I told you, the dynasties are basic the Khandan, and the wall is especially strong near the main capital Beijing. And this Great Wall of China is also present, but it's just broken, and thousands of people are died building the Great Wall of China. Let's talk about let's talk about philosophy. Now, the Chinese philosophy also blossomed during the Qin period, and there are nearly 100 Chinese schools of philosophy, but the two main ones are Confucianism and Taoism. They are basically two beliefs. Now, Confucius lived in unrest as the people were always fighting with each other, as the Zhou dynasty had become weak. And Confucius just traveled all over China, and he was basically a teacher, and he gave importance to education. Now let's learn about Confucius the philosopher. Confucius advised that rulers should work constantly to improve the lot of common people by keeping peace and order in the empire. The empire's and nobles' task should not be just to gain riches and powers. He stressed human values and how people should do to each other what you should not like them to do you. Confucius did not give importance to gods, but he gave importance to respect and worship to ancestors. Now let's study about Taoism. Now here you can see the symbol of Taoism, but now let's learn about that. Now Taoism is also known as Taoism, and Taoism is recognized as the other most influential religions philosophy besides Confucianism. Now the origin of this system can be traced to as far back as the 6th century, but the Taoism believes in accepting nature, not opposing it. Like, we should respect nature, we shouldn't break flowers, we shouldn't cut trees, like that. All the things which come in nature. Now, but as we compare his belief to Confucius, he Confucius was Confucius taught about ancestor worship and strictly following old traditions, but Taoism is more lenient. So uh, this was our chapter of the progressive civilization of the Chinese. If you like it, subscribe my channel, click the bell button, share it with your friends, your least best friends and normal friends. Guys, please, I need your help. I want subscribers, and I hope I will get a silver trophy. And please, guys, please, you are my only hopes. Kindly subscribe my channel, please, please, please. And my comments are always turned on. So, and if any questions, if you can't understand any chapter, just type in there. I will make a video of that. And if you are having a CSN ID, I will be making soon a team, and then I will share the link of that team to you people, so you can access to that. So please subscribe my channel. And also I af- at the comments I will be posting quizzes for every single chapter. All either it's maths, either it's science, or either is history. So always look into that. And they are marks, so don't worry about marks. Just think of your ability, that how could you do that. Just think that it's basically the test of how much you understood. Okay, and I will be getting all your marks and all your and how much duration did you completed your test, every single thing. So kindly do that. Okay, so now I have to go by. Again, I'm telling you, subscribe my channel, click the bell button, share it with your friends, your least best friends and normal friends. Okay, now I have to go. Stay home, stay safe, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.